Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Insanity Check. I am Ken, and this is no one. I am writing solo today. Skillet is out away. He took an early trip for the holiday season. By the time you guys see this, it'll probably be, I think, the Friday before Christmas. So we're going to be shutting it down for the end of the year. So we won't be here for Christmas or New Year's. We should be back on the air right after New Year's. That should be January 2nd, I believe. Um, so, but he's having a nice vacation. I'm not. Obviously, I am here to deliver the year end show. But you know, Skillet, he his main task here at the show was to provide us with the ridiculous, crazy, and uh, out of this world stories. So he actually sent me a couple that I guess he wanted me to share with you guys. Um, hmm. So what do we have here from old Skillet Sauce? He sent me this one. Former LA teacher pleads no contest to charges he fed he fed students semen-laced cookies. Mark Burnt, Berndt, Burnt is expected to be sentenced to 25 years in prison for pleading no contest to 23 charges of the fact that he fed his students semen-laced cookies. Apparently, he photographed these things. Someone at a drugstore uh, noticed photos. The photo technician noticed that there was a bunch of pictures he was developing in this day and age with kids blindfolded. So he contacted the police, and basically, Burnt was having these kids taste cookies that he had covered with semen for a taste test of some sort. I don't know if he's checking to see if the kids knew what semen tasted like. I don't know if he wanted to see if his semen tasted good. Maybe it tasted good to him, and he wasn't sure. So he was like, maybe I need some more, other outside input, non-biased input on my semen flavor. So he decided to have the students take the taste test for him. So basically, he's going to be in jail for like the next 25 years. He's 62, so pretty much, and I can't really see them letting him out early on parole. So he's going to be roughly 87. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, 87. When he's able to get out. And although technically he's probably still able to produce semen, he probably won't want to anymore. Especially since he might be sucking out a whole lot of that in jail. You know how that goes. But yeah, so thanks, Skillet, for that uplifting story. And he tops it with one of our crazy international flavors, flavor. Um, while I condemn society here in America constantly, yeah, the world is there. It's a fucked up place. Mother tried to eat her baby after giving birth in China. Now we've had some stories over the past couple of years from the land of the rising sun, the East, and it usually involved eating body parts. We had a cat who cut his own dick off and served it to folks, and I think it was another dude. I believe was he Asian. Either an Asian dude was eaten, or an Asian dude ate someone. But the cannibal, the dude who cut up his gay lover, I believe, and ate him. So yeah, a lot of issues going on. The shocking incident happened at a hospital in the city of Shenzhen in southern China. A woman who was believed to be mentally ill, had been discovered heavily pregnant and in labor on the streets, as opposed to lightly pregnant, I suppose. She had been taken to the hospital and given birth, and then placed in a ward where attempts were made to contact her family as she was left to nurse the child. However, on the woman's third day in the hospital, Nurse Lu Tianlun had gone into the hospital bedroom to find the young mother biting her son on the arm. When the nurse raised the alarm and tried to pull the baby free, the mother had refused to let go and continue to bite the tiny limb. You can see a photo here of said tiny bitten limb. A hospital spokesman said it was really shocking, and the arm was badly damaged and suffered not only heavy bruising and bleeding as a result of the bite. Fortunately, doctors managed to insert something to stop her closing her teeth and then leveraged her jaws apart after they gave her a sedative and took the baby to a secure location. So this chick was hell bent on eating this child up. They have to pry her jaws open like a Rottweiler. That's not a good look. But yeah, thanks, Skillet. So this is what Skillet has sent to me and and then to you from his good times. What a way to end off the year. Speaking of the year, what have we learned this year? Indeed, what have we learned this year? Going back to our shows, we have learned that men can get jailed for paying too much child support. We had Michael Sam, who became the first openly gay player to join the NFL. He got drafted, he got cut, he went to the practice squad of the Dallas Cowboys, he got cut. He hinted slightly that were he not gay, that he would still be on a team. Maybe, maybe not. Facts remains that, from the giddy up, they said his talent wasn't that fantastic, and apparently it wasn't that fantastic to take the risk of any possible distractions. You know how the NFL hates distractions. We'll get into that in a minute. And of course, this year, we started in our new facility here at BPN. We had to say goodbye to Eight, although we did visit him a couple of weeks ago, actually. He's in a new spot. His place actually looks better than ever. SD World Vision, I'm sorry, but can be seen in HD. SD World Vision is back up and running, so you can check out our good buddy Eight. When we got here, we got a couple of dates. We got a Natalie, who was our co-host, although she's been off the scene for a little while, getting some personal things taken care of. We expect her to be back with us at the beginning of next year, 2015. We had an announcer, Nettie Chan, who is an exotic dancer. And as you can see, she's worn some exotic outfits to tantalize. We've gotten several comments. Everyone's like, "Where's Nettie? Where's Nettie? Where's the Natalie?" Because no one wants us. We're just the talent around here. We just provide the jokes, we provide the stories, but we don't provide the boobage. No TNA. It's okay though. Proud to say I've lost some of my boobage over the past year, so I'm good to go with that. We've had some rather disturbing animal stories. A lot of masturbation, animal rape. Apparently, animals really, really, really like to masturbate, and I guess when they can't, they will have sex with whatever's available, including other animals outside of their species. What are you gonna do? Actually, we did some reviews. We did some television show reviews. We did some movie reviews. We actually did some trailer reviews. Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I actually ended up seeing, which was, it was all right. Expendables 3, it was all right. The Equalizer with Denzel, that was decent. That was all right. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't horrible. Still haven't seen Mad Max yet. We talked about Black Jesus, another show that was, I guess, kind of disappointing. Had high hopes for it. Loved the concept. Obviously, if you hadn't seen it, it's on, I think, Adult Swim. Slink Johnson. I kind of just like saying that name. But that is the name of the actor, the lead character. He plays Black Jesus out in Compton. A lot of cursing, a lot of, I guess, West Coast humor. Obviously, having a black curse in Jesus is controversial enough. I personally felt could have gone more intellectually speaking, comedically speaking. Um, so it was kind of a letdown for me, but it was there as what it was. Um, we learned that Floyd Mayweather can't read, even though at this moment he's talking shit yet again about how he's ready to fight Manny Pacquiao and he wants to do it May 2nd. Um, where this is all going, who knows? No one really believes it. Floyd's a shit talker. He's a coward, and he doesn't want to fight this dude. Maybe he will. Maybe he finally, thinks that Manny Pacquiao is, too old to catch him as he runs around the ring. Who the hell knows? But yip yap yip yap. We'll see what happens with Floyd. Um, we covered a story about a performance artist who was looking to have sex every day, I think, with a different person out in I think Europe, Germany. Um, if you remember, Skillet wasn't terribly impressed by it, but that's what performance art is. It's just doing shit, whether it's fantastic, whether it's creative, whether it's talent. You're just doing shit and say, hey, look at me, and there you have performance art. Um, although having sex with a different person is much more interesting than some of the other crap that I've seen in my day. Oh, we had, of course, that interesting story. I don't know if it was ever confirmed or busted as being a hoax, but you had that mother-daughter lesbian couple that we talked about back in September. Um, I always seem to go to I don't know, the obscure points or angles on stuff like this. Just to take for, just say for argument's sake that this is true, that these two women are actually having a relationship. Obviously that's a lesbian relationship, incest. Um, Mike, I was just questioning why is that, or is it like really, 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 really horrible? Yes, we all think it's horrible because we all say it's horrible, but is it actually really, really, really horrible? Um, you know, Again, I have to point out that 50% of the states in the United States allow you to marry your first cousin, and obviously, if you can marry her, you can bone her. So, obviously, something's not that horrible. Um, the Bible says it's okay to do your first cousin, or rather, it doesn't say it's wrong to do your first cousin. You're not supposed to do your mom, your dad, your uncles, your brothers and sisters. You don't say anything about first cousins. So, just a question. Just questioning who we really are, at the end of the day. And of course, fresh in our minds is the old NFL. An entity I used to love. I mean, I still kind of like it a lot, but I just, yeah. You know, you had your Ray Rice, you had your Adrian Peterson, and again, the acts they committed were not cool. It was bitchy, uh, but it's also incredibly common. It's also something that the NFL handled and was continuing to handle in a particular manner. Even the court system was continuing to handle in a particular manner until the video came out. And once the video came out, then Ray Rice became the worst person in the world, and he had to stop working for the NFL, and he shouldn't be allowed to do this, that, and the other, yada yada yada. Adrian Peterson is now a child abusing monster, um, and again, I'm not saying that these dudes shouldn't be punished for what they did. My problem is twofold. One, uh, the NFL, of course, the lying hypocrite scum. Um, the figurehead, of course, is Roger Goodell, who, and one of my big issues with the way this story was covered was the fact that as I listened to talk radio, they made sure to say that, they can't abide, domestic violence. A dude who hits a woman, is just horrible. He's a woman beater. Look at the poor scars on that child, Adrian Peterson's kid. He's a child abuser. Yet they never call Roger Goodell a liar. One guy did, and he did it on his own blog or his own website, and they suspended him. But what did he do wrong? A federal judge called Roger Goodell a liar. Sure, she said he misrepresented himself in a court of law or at a hearing or a testimony, but she's a federal judge. Misrepresentation. We all know what that means. You lied. So he's officially lied to the court system. He's lied to the public. He's lied to the players. Yet no one on radio says that he's a liar. They say he got in trouble because he didn't come down hard enough on Ray Rice when he should have in the first place. No, he got in trouble because he lied about what Ray Rice told him, because he was going by the NFL book, which was 2 games, a suspension. And whether you consider that to be the NFL not caring about domestic violence or not, that's your choice. But the fact of the matter is, he was following and doing what the NFL always does. When the video came out of Ray Rice, punching his chick out, then all of a sudden, it was much worse. He should have done more. And of course, the NFL, they specialize in not giving a shit until their money is being threatened. Ray Rice getting, picked up for domestic violence, money wasn't being threatened. A bunch of dudes got picked up for domestic violence over the years in the NFL. Okay, we know what the deal is. 2 games. But no one's never a video. Now there's a video, all of a sudden, oh my God, we have to get him out of the NFL, blah, 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 blah. Now, of course, there is panic mode, there's damage control, and the NFL was just doing every and anything they can to make sure that their billions weren't interfered with. And in that process, Goodell lied about a bunch of shit. But chances are he's not going to lose his job because he is the head of a $10 billion corporation. And he helped make it a $10 billion corporation, which of course means what, ladies and gentlemen? It means that the 32 NFL owners, who now they're having these no more domestic violence. Yeah, you paid a couple of $100,000 for those commercial spots. But the dude who lied and apparently didn't give a shit that his woman got knocked out because he was just going to give the dude that knocked him out a couple of games is still in charge. So NFL owners don't give a shit about domestic violence. We know Roger Goodell doesn't give a shit about domestic violence, but yet they're left alone to continue to do what it is they do, which is make money. Okay. That's the world we live in. And of course, we end the year off with a bunch of decisions. We end the year off with a bunch of decisions that was made by grand juries. I'm sure you know these names by now. I'm sure you know what this means. I'm sure you know what I can't breathe means. Sadly enough, they didn't pick up one for the cat from Walmart. But yes, folks, not surprised to me, not a surprise to Skillet, not a surprise to a bunch of black people, tons of black people all over the country, that cops shoot unarmed black men. Been happening for years, right? You have Eric Garner, you have Michael Brown, and you have homeboy in the Walmart, John Crawford. Finally remembered his name. And that's, probably because they just didn't do a whole bunch of coverage on it like they did Garner and Brown. So in 3 instances, you have 3 men, none of which are armed, none of which posed any real threat to an armed policeman or policemen, yet they had to be taken out, killed. Coroners keep saying these things are homicides, and yet because of the law, because of policy, because of procedure, all of these cops are back to doing whatever it is they do. Oh, Garner, sure. Darren Wilson, the cop that shot Garner, he left the police force. Not exactly sure why. Who knows? Maybe his conscience got the best of him and he couldn't deal with, the pressure of being a killer. Who knows? But that's what has happened. That's what has been happening. That's what's continuing to happen. Now, I will clearly say, and I am surprised to a degree, that there has been way more protested activity regarding these incidences across the country. And while that's cool, and while I would say I can appreciate for now the interest and the concern being expressed by thousands and thousands of people, I'm always going back to like the bottom line. At the end of the day, will this actually change something? I've referenced, Occupy Wall Street. Cats was laying up on Wall Street for days and days on end. They occupied other parts of the country. Anything really change? Happen? Actually, what changed was that all of a sudden now, the country where, you have freedom of speech to express your discontent, you didn't have that luxury anymore. You were hauled off by the pigs because you were now had to go to a demonstration zone. You can demonstrate, but only over here. Can't demonstrate over here. Because over here, where the millionaires have to go into Wall Street to make more money, you see. So we can't have you over here. Got to be over here. So, you have what have been going on, die-ins. Again, you have the hands up, which was Eric Brown's situation. Again, I don't care what the findings were. I saw a video of people at the scene who were like, yo, he had his hands up. He had his hands up. Why'd they shoot him? Yeah, before it was a thing. See, they wasn't doing it because it was cool. They weren't doing it because it was going to be a T-shirt. They weren't doing it because it was a movement. They did it because that's what they saw at the moment. The dude had his hands up and got 6 shots put in his ass. But, when the 5 members of the LA Rams, the St. Louis Rams, rather, did that, pigs were furious, demanded an apology, couldn't believe, blah, 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 blah. Because their dude got off. Just like Staten Island dude got off. Just like the dude in Walmart, John Crawford. Cats who shot him got off. Even though there was Walmart video, even though witnesses corroborated the video that this dude did nothing, one, didn't have a chance to do anything when the cops supposedly told him to put his gun down, which was actually a toy rifle that was being sold in the Walmart. But you see, 2 white folks called up and said, there's a black man running around with a gun. So now we had to come in as the police to protect the citizens immediately, without question, and kill this guy. So we've gone on and on about this. Actually, not as much as we could have. I think Skillet and I both see the eye to eye on this, whereas it's like, what's the point? What's the use? And there's no shock here. I knew these guys were all going to get off because that's what happens. And again, while I appreciate the sentiment, I don't think marching I just don't think it's going to really do anything. But, as they say sometimes, every little bit counts. So I recently saw something on Facebook where good old Sam Jackson, and let me just say that, I definitely have greater respect for Sam Jackson. I have great respect for LeBron James. I have respect for the Cats, the players in St. Louis, the Rams. Because even though, it's an uphill battle, even though the likelihood of their demonstrations and protests to actually affect change is like this big, I give them credit, especially because they have more to lose than someone like myself. Um, this is why I couldn't stand, and I still can't stand Michael Jordan. He's a piece of shit who never did anything with the power that he had. You know, I remember when they were asking him about I think it was the working conditions of the factories where they made Nikes over in whatever slave country Nike, Nike occupied. His answer was, that's for other people to take care of. Basically, he has confidence they'll take. Yeah, they took care of it. They raised the price of Nikes, his Nikes. To a lesser degree, Tiger Woods, same shit. He has an identity crisis going on, or whatever. Yeah, he doesn't feel. But Jordan, we I think the general consensus is that you're a black dude, and you spoke up for no one and nothing. Now everyone thinks you're an arrogant, piece of crap. Well, not everyone, but way more than when you were playing. I knew it all along. But Sam Jackson has recently done a video, and as the ice bucket challenge went rampant on the internet with celebrities and everybody, dumping water buckets of ice on their head for some type of disease or another. It got so much about the damn ice buckets that you barely remember what the shit was even for. But Sam Jackson said on Saturday on his Facebook page, Jackson offers to all the celebrities that poured ice water on their heads a chance to do something else. Jackson challenges celebrities to sing the "We Ain't Gonna Stop Till People Are Free" song. The song starts off with a reference to Eric Garner's last words. And again, Sam's a big dude. I mean, he has a lot of stroke in Hollywood. I doubt it's going to, really damage him in any way. But still in all, I congratulate you. I applaud you, especially for taking to task all those others who, did the ice water challenge. This is far more serious because basically it's legal to kill unarmed black men. That's just, you can say it any way you want, but that's what it is. Over and over and over again, no weapon, no just cause, no threat, and no convictions, no indictments. They're not even saying like, this is actually worthy to bring to the courts. You bring all types of stupid shit. A chick gets burned with fucking coffee. That'll go to court. A chick wants to sue McDonald's because her kids are getting fat off of this shit. That will probably get to court. But video of dudes getting beaten by 5 cops, Rodney King, 22 years ago, video of cats getting choked out, Amadou Diallo, Abner Louima, 41 shots, plungers, Sean Bell, now the pink houses, over and over and over again. What do we got? Nothing. They followed procedure. They didn't commit any crimes. You know what it's like to be a cop? No, actually I don't. Don't want to know. But since you do, why don't you try doing it a little bit better than you've been doing it? But anyway, I would like to leave 2014 and do what my man Sam Jackson said. I don't know if this is going to become a thing. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Whatever. So, here you go, Sam. I can hear my neighbor crying, I can't breathe. Now I'm in the struggle and I can't leave. Calling out the violence of the racist police. We ain't gonna stop till people are free. We ain't gonna stop till people are free. Insanity Check, 2014. See you next year, hopefully.
We're trying to make it, baby.